Before we get started, you're probably thinking, wow, this video is a bit too long. Well, no worries. If you were to look in the description right now, you'll see I have provided chapters. So if you just want to skip ahead to a certain collection continuation that you care about, or maybe you only care about clothing and armour, for example, it's all provided. Just look in the description. It's all there. So with that, good evening, Ruskin enjoyers. I hope you're doing alright, because it's time for the Rust Workshop skin checks. So this one's a bit of an awkward one today, so let me elaborate. You should probably be well aware that last week we discussed the likes of Easter skins. I didn't produce a Easter collection because I didn't want it to potentially clash with the likes of the actual proper Easter collection, which I'm about to show you in a second. But what I did do is produce a video still, and I did produce all the Steam Workshop links for all the skins that I showcased, based in order of appearance. So feel free to go give that a good look. It's all the collection continuations that I was aware of. So going back over to here, we can see that we do have an actual collection of Easter skins right here, 130 in total. Now the question is it going to be 2 weeks? It might be 2 weeks. So, of course, I'm sure many of you are aware, on the 21st, this Thursday, we're going to have the actual Easter content added to Rust. And with my expectation, that's going to last until April Fool's Wipe, and then, of course, they'll turn it off. But I'm pretty sure, with the next 2 Rust stores, it's going to be Easter-only skins. So don't be too surprised by that. But what I'm saying is, we do have a big fat batch of skins to show off today, but they're probably not going to be seen at the very least until April Fool's Wipe. So don't know all the details. I was under the assumption the skin creators had to take a week off. Clearly they didn't, but I get the feeling that maybe that we're just going to have like a really big fat top picks list potentially next week, and I'm sure you get the idea. So take that into consideration. It's probably not going to be appearing until at least April 4th wipe, which would be April 4th, 2024. Yes. All right. So at the very least, go give this a good look, because of course all of these skins have a very good chance of potentially being accepted. We could have potentially up to about maybe 12 to 15 skins being accepted for an Easter Rust store. Maybe, possibly. So go give it all a good look. And you might notice, yes, the vast majority of the skins are deployables. So in terms of the clothing and armour and the weapons, maybe they have a much better chance of potentially being accepted. You need to go ahead and give it all a good look, alright? So go get a good look at all of these. And at the very least, you could also go ahead and take a look at that German guy's video that he's produced. So if you want to get a much better look at them in game, here you go. Consider giving this a good watch. It's only 25 minutes long, so you get a decent chance to look at all of it. So that's very good. That's very nice. And of course, as I said, we do have actual skins that have been submitted. Non-Easter themed skins, I should clarify. So what we're going to do in this video is go over all the skins, but the main intention is to identify collection continuations. We're here to discuss the possibility of trying to make some investments. We're looking at this with a financial perspective. By identifying collections, we can discuss, is it a good idea to jump in and make some investments? Because, of course, typically with a brand new Rust store, if we see collection continuations appearing, we tend to see a spike in demand, spike in price for the pre-existing skins from the same collection, if that makes sense to all of you. So that's the main intention. That's what we're here for. That's what we're here for. Mumbling already. Sorry, I'm rambling already. Anyway, so at the very least, you're probably sitting there wondering, Hedge, what's that, a followed authors list? Well, yes, that's a followed authors list. If you want to be nice and organised and, potentially be the first to be aware of all the new skins that have been submitted by the Rust Workshop, skin creators and whatnot, look in the top right video right now, and you will see a little card has appeared. If you were to click that, it'll navigate you to a video which will showcase to you how to build up your own followed authors list. Now, you don't have to do it one specific way. You can do it any way you want. So I do provide options in how you can build up your own. So consider giving it a good watch. And now, shall we actually proceed to talk about all the brand new skins? So, like I said, I honestly think these skins probably won't be appearing at the very least until April Fool's Wipe. Take that for what you will, because I do expect that from here and now, for the next 2 weeks, it will be Easter Rust store skins only. So maybe we'll actually see a proper week off next week, or maybe they'll still produce skins, who knows. But I think the skin creators really should have taken a week off. It is what it is. So some did. So you might notice we don't have that many skins this week, only 88. Typically we have over 100, which, that spares me, gives me some more time to breathe. So at the very least, shall we jump in now? Shall we start talking about the likes of deployables? But don't forget, if you were to look in the description, because I think YouTube puts it in that corner now, if you go look in the description, I have provided a link to the collection, so you can listen to me as we go through all the skins, or you can just go through it at your own pace, at your own time. It's up to you. But don't forget, please consider showing your support. Vote yes or no if you like the skins. And of course, if you really like it, offer a nice little comment Or if you don't really like it that much, but you could see it probably being a little bit better in your eyes, offer some constructive feedback. Understood? Let's roll. Ruck skins. So, for the first deployable skins of the week, we got some ruck skins, and we're going on a little trip, a little journey. So, I'm pretty sure this is like Lord of the Rings sort of like themed, but yeah, we got a cute little map sort of ruck skin right here, you know, where we're going to attack. Now, I kind of wish he put it in better lighting, but at the end of the day, you can still see what's being shown. That's a cute little design right there. So, this is produced by Mr. Kaiden, and yeah, keep Rust Legacy alive with this gorgeous 17th century themed artwork featuring everyone's favourite map. Oh yes indeed. So if you like what you see here, please consider voting yes or no, and like I said, if you really like it, offer a nice comment, keep them motivated, keep wanting to put out very nice creative skins in the future. And if you don't happen to like it that much, offer some constructive feedback, be nice, concise and straight to the point, and who knows, if that skin isn't accepted, maybe they'll consider making a version 2 in the future. They'll incorporate your feedback, and then of course they'll roll with that, and yeah, maybe that potentially gets accepted in the future, and you helped. So it's as simple as that. Best of luck to you, Kaiden. Let's move on. What do we have right here? It's the Orthopedic Rug version 2. So we've got a nice little map design, and now we've got feet. Yes, what a lovely video this is already. So Just Mouse has produced this. Come on. It's very good for your toesies. I'm sure many of you will be very happy about that. So if you like what you see, if you're a fan of this, please consider voting yes and no. It does appear to glow in the... Oh, no, it doesn't glow in the dark. No, no glow. Huh. Kind of stands out better when it's in the dark, though, doesn't it? Yeah, maybe I'm just overthinking it. Regardless, if you like what you see, please consider voting yes or no. Let's move on. Next up, what do we have here? We have two versions of this. So Alibaba Duck has produced a glitch emoji rug road sign and a glitch emoji rug scientist. So got an interesting looking design pair right here. That's looking very cool. And if you like what you see, please consider voting yes or no. And how come you've changed your name? What's going on here, Duck? Anyway, best of luck to you. Let's see what we have next. Right then, next up we got some furnaces to take a look at. So here we have the likes of 4 furnaces with a collection continuation. We'll get onto that in a bit, but first of all, here we have the likes of the Ancient Marble Furnace version 2, produced by Skelitra. Get a good look at this design. Fairly grounded, nothing too crazy, nothing too colourful, but if this is the type of thing that you appreciate, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, sir. Next up, we have a standard-looking dragon fruit furnace. Get a good look at this with all the seeds inside and whatnot. Pretty cool. Fairly colourful, and hey, we just had a blueberry furnace being accepted. I'm pretty sure the skin creators are thinking, well, I could make another fruit skin, just take a look. And yeah, so we've got dragon fruit, so pretty interesting design. If you're a fan of it, by all means, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, Shaft, Heenon, and Jackie Wecky. And well, hang on a minute, what's going on here? Right, hold up. Did you happen to see that goofy idea and think, oh, we can make it wackier? Papacarlin Universe Kid, what's this all about? Huh? Another dragon fruit, but it's a monster? I'm on to you, but anyway, seems they had a bit of an inspiration to consider making some sort of strange-looking monster design out of a dragon fruit, so it is what it is. If you're a fan of that, you could go ahead and vote yes or no, but it might bite you, so just point that out. So, moving on, what do we have next? We have the likes of the first collection continuation to discuss for this video. It is the Pirate Furnace. So, if we could get a better look at the likes of that. I'm noticing that they've done a different coloured interior. Oh, someone's been listening, so that's fine. Basically, if we were to go over to here and take a look at the likes of this Blackberry Furnace, one of the first things I discussed when I looked at this was I took notice of there's a bit of a trend where certain furnaces with a different coloured interior that isn't orange, red or yellow, I'm talking about the inside part here, if it doesn't have that, typically the skin ends up doing better, performing better, becomes a much better investment to be specific. Look at the likes of Neon Vibes Furnace. Spider Cocoon is an unfortunate story, but I lean into the idea that it sold far too much, which led to problems for it. You never know, maybe it might have a nice turnaround at some point in the future. And then of course we've got the likes of Abyss Furnace right there, but all of these other furnaces, they're not doing very well, are they? And if you were to look at all furnaces by price, let's go see that. You might notice you got Toxic Furnace right there, you got Ghostly Flame Furnace right there, there's Abyss, there's Neon Vibes, there's Blackberry, and over here a little bit, it's slightly down in price, you've got Tribe Furnace with the blue interior. Yeah, those are all of the different coloured interior furnaces that I'm aware of. Only Spider Cocoon's the one that's kind of struggling. So that was a nice discussion, but what we should also talk about are the pirate, or is the, let's just talk about the pirate collection. You know what I'm trying to say. Come on now, don't start being, oh no. Come on, SC man, work for me, please. I need this, thank you. Okay, so, Pirate Collection. We have started to dabble into the likes of Deployables. However, with the likes of the Easter dip, skin prices have started to suffer a fair bit. It's quite unfortunate, but it's happening across the board. All skins are going down at the moment. It's not nice to see. So they haven't really performed very well. Now, initially, when we got up to the point where it's the garage door that was accepted, these were doing quite all right. But then as time has gone on, since January, prices for these have not held up very nicely. However, as I said, we're currently going through Easter, which isn't exactly the best time for skins. How will these look around the summertime? Because typically, around the summertime, we have a lot more people playing, and therefore, a lot more demand for skins. Will the prices be much better? Will people appreciate the likes of the Pirate Deployables, and hopefully the rest of Pirate Collection? Oof. So, we shall see. Personally, I wouldn't go super crazy on them. I've already bought some, so I'm kind of stuck with them already. But like I said, things can easily turn around the summertime. But we do have the likes of the CS2 Copenhagen major stickers still to be released and whatnot, which of course is another problem in itself. When they release, yeah, if you thought it was bad now, you just wait. So I do have a video kind of discussing that. I don't mean to kind of bring this up right now, but again, if you've listened to me up to this point, go ahead and listen to this video as well, just to keep yourself up to date in regards to the current situation, in regards to skins in general. But I will sit here and say, in regards to this furnace skin right here, I like it, I respect the design, I like the interior, it's a ghost ship, that's cool, that's nice. Mr. Y9J and Mr. 34633, I think you've done a clever little approach with this. I think people will appreciate it, and if you do, please consider voting yes or no, and, well, let's move on. So, let's go over to here. We've got one sleeping bag to talk about, one small box. You know what? I'm very surprised. One storage in general. No large boxes whatsoever this week. So anyway, what do we have here? It's the spring sleeping bag. Wow, that's nice and pleasant. Nothing too crazy. Doesn't appear to glow in the dark. That's totally fine, Mr. FaZe. That actually might work out quite all right. People do like a nice green sleeping bag skin. Why? Because you can just put it in the grass, and in most cases, well, hopefully speaking, nobody will notice it. So you can have like a nice little hidden sleeping bag if you need to have some sleeping bags hidden around all over the place, maybe near some monuments or whatever. It's up to you. Well, if you like what you see, please consider voting yes or no, and best of luck to you, Mr. FaZe. Okay, so not too long ago, Mr. 38 put out a very interesting, cozy looking story. Not that. This we had the cool looking wooden base, and a lot of people on Twitter absolutely loved it. That definitely gained some traction. Unfortunately, it wasn't accepted, which was a bit of a bummer, but guess what? Now we've got a stone version, and hey, just as comfy, just as cute, and maybe, just maybe, that potentially could be accepted. So, glows in the dark, very nice to see. If you like it, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, Mr. 38. Now we can talk about doors. So many sheet metal doors this week. Oh, yes, indeed. And then we got garage doors afterwards. Okay, cool. So, first of all, what do we have right here? Mr. Kua has returned, and he has decided to attack the brick building skin. For you see, when we got the brick building skin accepted last year, we never actually got a brick deployable skin themed around it being accepted, which was really odd. We got tons of Adobe themed skins. I'm talking doors. I'm talking what else do we have? We had a garage door. There was something else I can't remember. Large box, that's it. But not a single brick skin, which is strange. Anyway, he probably thought, well, you know what? It's been quite some time since its release. Maybe now couldn't hurt. And hey, maybe you might agree. And you know what? I like how he's kind of made it seem flattened. You can't instantly notice that that's like the door bit. So the handle. So if you like what you see and you think, yeah, that actually blends in very nicely with the likes of the walls and whatnot for my brick building skin, well, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, Mr. Kua. Okay, Sealed Horror version 2. So, that's creepy, that's scary, and maybe, just maybe, the perfect skin for you to keep you trapped in the base because you're the monster. So this glows in the dark, looking very nice, but we also have a transparent version, and just to repeat, this is a sheet metal door. So, yeah, that might be pretty interesting. It wouldn't be the first sheet metal door transparency, but hey, maybe, just maybe, we could have another one. If you like what you see, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, Chris and Madel. Next up, we have the energy door. It glows in the dark. It's made by Macquarie. Get a good look at this. Nothing too crazy in terms of its design. Looks very nice and futuristic to a point. That does look quite pretty. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Look at that. maybe this is the type of door that you need in your life. Well, please consider voting yes or no. And, well, best of luck to you, Mr. McQuarrie. Let's see what happens from here. Okay, Salisbury sheet metal door. Is it Salisbury or Salisbury? I'm not sure how or what pronunciation they probably would have wanted, but I said both, so I feel like I've, just covered my bases there, just like this door, covering this base. Aha. Well, if you like what you see, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, Mr. Emperor. And what do we have here? It's the home metal door. Yes, this is produced by Mr. WAGAN, Mr. Wagan, and it's a glow-in-the-dark door that says home. If you tilt your head to the right, yeah, that seems to be correct. So if you like what you see, if you're a fan of that, please consider voting yes or no. Take me home. I'm not going to sing it, sorry. Okay, so faceless sheet metal door, produced by Falco and Alloy. Got a lovely little gif here showcasing it. Oh wow, that's quite pretty. That's quite cool. Being very cinematic, are we? You can just make a YouTube video. We could just do that. I'm just saying. But yeah, you got a cool looking sheet metal door right here. Now it comes in 2 versions. This one, you can't beg. Stow it! Anyway, moving on. We do have a glow-in-the-dark version right here where the head kind of lightens up on the side, so get a good look at the design. And then if we could go to nighttime, as you see, the head seems to have a bit of lighting to it. So if you're a fan of that, if you appreciate it, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, Falco, and best of luck to you, Alloy. Okay, next up, what do we have right here? It's the Blaze Camo sheet metal door produced by Zveran. Get a good look at that. It's reminded me of the old type of skins you get in Call of Duty 4 a long, long time ago. Well, hey, if you know, you know. Would you like to spend 2 hours on shipment doing headshots over and over again to try and get this skin? Haha, old references. You'd know if you know. So, yeah, if you like what you see, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, Mr. Zveran. This skin doesn't appear to glow in the dark or anything, but maybe the warm colours are more than enough for you. So, best of luck to you, sir. And, of course, yes, it looks like we've got the likes of a garage door right here, the ritual garage door. I probably accidentally grabbed one earlier, I didn't really mean to, but hey, it is what it is. Oh, we've got some gifts here. Oh, yes. Now, I do know there is actually a second version, so if I could just quickly go to get all the links for that. So we've got glow in the dark. There we go. Let's grab all of these. All of these garage doors. In fact, we might as well get all of the doors, yes. And let's proceed. So, this is the glow-in-the-dark version, as you can see right here. Looking pretty sweet. You've got some gifts to showcase. Thank you very much for that, Dragvlad and Mr. Norma Van. So, yes, very standout. What's all the yellow stuff coming out of its eyes and its mouth? God, I might need to give him a bib or something. But at the end of the day, pretty cool. Bit out there, bit wacky, but maybe that's exactly the type of thing that you want. So if you're a fan of this, please consider voting yes or no. Thank you very much for the gift showcasing how you built it all up, and best of luck to you two then. So yeah, best of luck. What do we have right here? Well, when I first saw this, and you can go watch my Easter dip video that I put out recently, like I mentioned earlier, I had a bit of a panic attack. But this isn't exactly like the Doomgate door situation. You remember the industrial garage door? Well, looks like they've had a very similar naming idea. But anyway, this does not have as much transparency as the original thing. This only has transparency in the middle here. So maybe that might still be too much. Maybe that might be just enough. This doesn't appear to glow in the dark or anything. So I guess, no, it's fine. Anyway, so if you're a skin creator and you want to make like a transparent door, you can also produce a version without the transparency, right? I see a lot of people doing this. Like, if you know you're doing something risky, you're allowed to have an alternate version that isn't so risky. So don't forget about that. People make a non-glowing and a glow-in-the-dark version of a door. So, you're allowed to do that with transparency as well. Just point it out. So, regardless, if you like what you see, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, Mr. Mad Polly and Mr. Kosem. Let's move on. What do we have over here? It's the Zvuksvang garage door. Okay, Zvuksvang is compulsion to move. I see. Are you about to get checkmate? Probably. So, well, if you like what you see, if you like the chess theme, if you're a fan of this, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, Mr. Yeah. I like the theming. I like the idea. And what do we have here? It's the Shadowborn garage door, which glows in the dark. Right, decided to work on this concept with Cubist, my fellow artist friend, based on one of my Rust-related illustrations I designed as a fan art. Hopefully you'll enjoy it. Feel free to vote and leave a feedback. Okay. Yeah, looking pretty sweet, looking pretty cool. That is a cool looking design. Mr. Vase, Mr. Cubist, I appreciate. Let's get it HD, and oh yes. Look at the sheen, look at the shine, look at the glow. Are you a fan of this? Do you like what you see? Well, please consider voting yes or no. I think that's a very nice piece of work right there. So best of luck to you two. And what do we have now? Continuations. So I believe we've got a couple of these to talk about. What's this? It's the version 2 of the Plague Garage Door. Not too long ago, we did get the likes of a Plague Sheet Metal Door being accepted. That was fine. That was okay. And not too long ago from now specifically, we did see the likes of a Garage Door being submitted. Unfortunately, it wasn't accepted. But hey, now, you know, after a month, they're allowed to try again, re-release it. Let's see. So if you're a fan of this, if you like the design, if you appreciate the Plague collection, by all means, please consider voting yes or no. And now, let's hop over to here. Let's go search for that Plague Sheet Metal Door. There we go. Right, so this was accepted at the very beginning of this year. Well, I mean, like, halfway through January. But unfortunately, it's not exactly doing super great. Well, number one, it's not even appearing to me. Don't start doing funny things with me now, Steam, please. Thank you. Right, so there's only 44 of them on the Steam market. It's currently listed at 80 cents. It also glows in the dark. But unfortunately, it did not have that much appreciation. It did not manage to retain its value. It's quite unfortunate, but the builders simply weren't there. But hey, I mean, if you were to see a continuation, maybe some things could work out for it. Maybe we could see the likes of this potentially rising in price. Well, it's up to you. Personally, I think we need to see more of this collection. You might have noticed this is the only other Plague skin that we've had accepted. So, like I normally say, you probably want to wait until at least a few of these have been accepted. And then from there on, we'll probably see an actual, like, bit of demand for all of them. People would want the full collection, the full deployable collection, that is. And then it would be truly appreciated. So, with the likes of that, if you truly appreciate it, please consider voting yes or no. Let's see what happens next. Best of luck to you, Oasis and Schumer. And let's move on to the next garage door that we must discuss, because it is Polished Obsidian. So, with what we have here, it's totally fine. One thing that has taken me quite surprised somewhat recently, and it is that Polished Obsidian Furnace. That's actually still managing to stay above its rust ore price, which, you know, in all fairness, that's pretty cool. Collection, there we are. That's it. Oh, no, it's gone down now. Oh, well, there you go. That's unfortunate. So, there's a bit of a problem with this collection. I've mentioned it many times. It was supposed to be called Blackstone, and then Face Punch wanted to accept the Blackstone Rock, but then they called it Polished Obsidian. So then the skin traders started calling it Polished Obsidian, but then some of their previous weapon skins were still called Blackstone in the workshop, and then they were accepted, and then you got one half Blackstone, one half Polished Obsidian. It's a bit all over the place. It's a bit awkward. So anyway, in regards to those those Polished Obsidian skins, let's go take a look at that again. Sorry, I shouldn't have backed out of that. I think we should only really care about the likes of the furnace. Come on. Come on! Right, don't keep that there. Keep that there, and I'll go down. It should appear now. There we go. All right, so now I've got it figured out. So if I want to go ahead and just take a look at the furnace, because for quite some time, recently, it wasn't going below its rust ore price, which was pretty interesting. However, I lean more into the idea that it was simply a batch of people who just refused to list theirs below $2. Well, now it started to happen, as you can clearly see. But for a very long time, it seemingly was doing quite all right. But as I've said, it's now starting to go down, and it is what it is. But for the longest time, it did a very good job in retaining its value. So I get the feeling people probably do appreciate the Polished Obsidian skins, but we only have one other deplorable to look at. You might sit there and say, Hedge, what about the rock? What about the rock? What about the rock? I don't think people care too much about the rock. I think they're going to care more about the potential Polished Obsidian deplorable collection. So, looking at the state of this garage door right here, nothing wrong with it, it's totally fine, nice and shiny and the good lighting, yes. I think people could appreciate it, I think it could get some love, but it all depends where we actually see it potentially being accepted. So my answer to you is, exactly like with the likes of the Plague garage door, I think we need to see these collections build up a little bit more for us to really question if we want to jump in and invest into them. As of right now, after seeing the furnace finally go down below its rust ore price, I think maybe it's best we just kind of avoid it for now and see what happens from here and now. That makes sense. So it's nice to see it did better than most other furnaces, but like I said, I really do feel like it was just a case of people just refused to sell theirs below $2 or list theirs below $2. But now they have, and maybe people might start caving in and just start selling to all the builders, and then oh god. Anyway, so best of luck to the likes of you two. Let's see what happens next, and we do have one more garage door to discuss. Yes, it is the Khokhloma garage door. So, how bright will this be at night time? Whoa, my eyeballs are burned. So, yeah, we've been seeing some success with the likes of the large and small box. If we could just quickly go and take a look at the likes of those. Now, I do believe they've both gone down in price below their Rust Or price recently, but I don't think it's like insanely down. The small box, oh, okay, that's a bit harsh, oh no. But this is still doing somewhat okay, and the amount of quantity both of these have on the Steam market is hardly anything. There's, what, 30 of these? That's nothing. So, as of now, these two skins have got 2 in the collection, which is nice. It's these 2 skins. Yeah, anyway, just keep moving on. These are properly building up into a collection. There was also a sleeping bag that was submitted not too long ago. Maybe it was just awkward timing, you know, with the likes of Easter and whatnot. Unfortunately, that wasn't accepted, but you never know. April 4th swipe, we'll see what happens. So, these are doing reasonably okay. Small box, you know, after a few sales, suddenly it's back up to $1.50 its Rust Or price. Hey, that could easily turn around, especially with hardly any quantity. Remember, on average, with every Rust skin on the Steam market, they typically have around 100 quantity. So to see something with 30, way below. So keep that in mind. So in regards to these 2 skins, yes, I do think if the garage door were to be accepted, we might actually start to see a bit of a nice build-up with the collection, and people will probably start taking interest. It is a very bright, very noticeable batch of deployable skins, and with the changes to nighttime, whilst you can vaguely see in front of you, maybe people would still appreciate some very nice, very bright-looking glow-in-the-dark deployables to help them navigate around their base, especially early on during the build-up of their, you know, the evolution of their base. So, very nice. Very cool. If you like it, please by all means consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you two. And, well, that's the last of the garage doors, because we're now moving on to armoured doors. What do we have right here? Produced by Kavinci. It's kind of hard to see because there's only one image. Kavinci, I needed more! Anyway, so this is the maintenance room armoured door. Clearly can see some red glowing light, but that is the only image that I have to showcase for it. So if you like what you see, please consider voting yes or no. I need them. Where are they? Okay, moving on. What do we have right here? Well, Mr. Upor and Hypermonster have made a very interesting pair of armoured door skins. Get a good look at that. Wow. So, they have produced a Heaven and a Hell armoured door. I don't think that's their actual names. It's called Light and Dark. But yeah, there's a bit of a problem because we already have a Hell armoured door. Light and Darkness, you know, that's fine. Could both of them be accepted? That'd be interesting. And what would people appreciate more, do you reckon? Light or dark? Both glow in the dark. Stand out very nicely. Very interesting, cool looking designs. And I will point out there are also transparent versions of them. So this might be fairly hard to notice, but can you see in between the likes of these like swords? You can see through them with the hatch. That's interesting. What about the darkness one? Same thing. Yep, you can see through those. Do you appreciate? Do you like? Are you a fan? Well, gentlemen, you're going to need to show off your support. Which side are you on? Light or dark? Scream it out loud in the comments if you must. And, well, you poor Hypermonster, I think you probably have a very good chance of potentially having at least one of these accepted. If you get both, fair enough. But yeah, that'll be an interesting thing. See which one sells more. It'd be like a vote or a competition between both sides. Best of luck to you two. Let's move on, because what do we have right here? It is a wooden double door. It is the Gluttony wooden double door, produced by Mr. Shedmon. It's a bit scary looking. Those are some weird looking teeth. Oh god, you might want to brush them. It's coming out through the gums and everything. So yeah, don't get many of these, do we? Hardly ever see a wooden double door, but hey, maybe we could. If you like what you see, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, Mr. Shedmon. And so, that is that. That was all the deployables this week. So, I ask you people, which one, out of all the deployable skins that we just showed off to you, which one is your favourite? Which one do you actually genuinely think has a very good chance of potentially being accepted in an upcoming Rust store? Feel free to comment below. I'm going to take a real quick drink of this water, and we will proceed with the likes of weapons and tools next. Sorry if you noticed some cuts during that. I realised I had a couple mistakes, so I had to kind of work around that. I know, bit awkward. That's Hedge's fault. I took a week off and suddenly I've got everything wrong all over again. Alright, so shall we proceed with the likes of weapons and tools? We've got some interesting looking rock skins immediately. So first of all, what do we have right here? Tritium. Is it tritium or tritium? I don't know. I'm very sorry. But yes, a very nice, very standout, cool looking glow-in-the-dark rock. Oh yes. Is it fine to hold that with your bare hands, Vladimir and hello? I'm just asking. You might want to wear some gloves or something. But at the end of the day, if you just need like a fairly straightforward, cool looking glow-in-the-dark rock, please consider voting yes or no, and please consider holding these with gloves on. I'm just saying. So best of luck to you too. And what do we have next? Why, it's a continuation of that Blackberry furnace that we just talked about a little bit earlier. Yes, indeed. Non-glow and glow. So, get out of here. You, the Blackberry furnace. This has only done about 13,000 sales so far. It looks like it's going to probably wrap around 15,000 sales, maybe just a little bit more. I have discussed about how this furnace is going to probably do a fair bit better compared to other furnaces based on its nice interior. But to see this potentially build up into a collection, all the better for that furnace, all right? So, Hedge, you've only recently just started getting some skins accepted, so best of luck. Let's see what could happen with the likes of this rock skin. But hey, it's not like we've been getting tons and tons and tons of rock skins recently. We've only had the likes of Polished Obsidian, and what, we're 3-4 months in almost with this year? I think you have a fairly decent chance in seeing this potentially be accepted. So, think about it. Could we see a lot more Blackberry skins? Blueberry, oh, Hedge, come on now. What do you reckon? Do you reckon this could build up to even more? Could it, dabble into the likes of more weapon skins? Could it dabble into the likes of more deployable skins? Do you want to have a Blackberry clothing and armor set? Do you want to be a fruit? I don't know. Nice and juicy. The juicy effect. Haha. So, anyway, if you don't know, if you go look at the store page, it says the juicy effect. And everybody thought that was some sort of special thing, and they kept asking me about it. It's just a joke. Nothing special. All right, moving on. So, in regards to this furnace, I'm interested in it now, a lot more so. Because if it does turn into a bit of a collection, all the better for it. And, of course, if you aren't fully well aware, I do my Abnormal Barders stream on Wednesdays. Then, of course, on the Thursday, I upload my Abnormal Barders video. So, if you don't fully understand the situation, please consider going over to the likes of my YouTube and watch the most recent Weekly Abnormals video, because we go through the routine of looking at the skins, we discuss all the context, both positive and negative, and we figure out what prices we might want to offer, because that Blackberry furnace is abnormal, and we're going to have to consider how much might we want to offer for it, because with the state of this now, seeing this potentially building up into a collection, all the better for it. As I've already said, things are looking much better for it. Anyway, if you like what you see, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, Mr. Hessian. But my final point is, I'm optimistic, but nothing is a guarantee, alright? I think that furnace by default actually might be a nice investment anyway. 15,000 sales isn't ridiculous, but we'll talk more about that tomorrow. So I'm going to sit here and say, whilst I don't have a definitive answer, I'm optimistic for it. So if you like the rocks, please show your support for them. And with that, let's move on. So we got some satchel charges, we got some tools, and it looks like we've got ourselves a continuation right there. So what do we have right here? Mailbox satchel charge version 2. We have 2 versions of this, both blue and red. Which one do you like more? Feel free to comment below. But yes, this is produced by Mr. JJ. If you like what you see, if you want to go send a bomb in the letterbox of your enemies, well, you got the perfect way of doing it. Haha. So best of luck to you, sir. Let's see what potentially happens with the likes of both of these skins. Next up, what do we have right here? It's the Sea Rescuer's hatchet and, of course, pickaxe. We don't have many tool skins this year, do we? We've had inflatable tools and that's it, both stone and regular tools. So, if you'd like to see some more variety, if you'd like to have some cool looking sailor themed, I was about to say this, sailor themed skins, yes, you might want to consider owning the likes of these. Please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, Mr. Mano McMahon. Alright, so this is a continuation, I believe. Quite some time back, Zed Skipper and Dark Schneider produced a, here we go, Lumberjack salvage sword, if I can recall. And, cool. I am pretty sure there was a salvage sword, so let's just go a bit further back. Salvage sword, yes please. It was probably about 2 years ago. There you go, prototype saw. Now, did you make that? Yes, they did. Dark Schneider did at the very least. So, yes, the whole idea was the Lumberjack, the Lumberjack hazmat pack came out around that time, and Dark Schneider considered, you know what? I'll make a savage sword skin that looks like a saw, and maybe that could get accepted. Lo and behold, it did. Wow. But there was a bit of a problem. Savage sword skins have not performed very nicely for a very long time. Very unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate. But hey, what if we get a Icepick skin? Now, let me just kind of point this out to you. We don't actually get that many Icepick skins being accepted. Let's just go over to here and bring this down. And Icepick, please. Icepick. No, you're going to do salvaged Icepick. Stupid naming terminologies. Salvaged Icepick. There we are. That one. Ooh, there we go. Yeah, we have not had one accepted since 2018. I mean, by all means, go for it. Give it a shot. Try and see if you can get one accepted. That's cool. I'm not going to say no. I would like to see another one being accepted. But to see the likes of the salvage sword skin go up in price, if that were to be accepted, I don't think that's going to happen, I'm afraid. Salvage swords, by default, whilst they might have very cool creative designs with transparency, unfortunately, none of them retain their value. And yeah, you might sit there and say, oh, but we might have like a tool collection. Doesn't matter. When you have a collection that only consists of weapons and tools, it tends to not really work out very nicely. A bit awkward is what I'm trying to say. So, by all means, if you'd like to see a new Icepick skin potentially being added to the game, please consider showing your support. Vote yes or no. Best of luck to you too. But yeah, I'm not super confident about the Savage Sword skin. Alright. Oh, immediately another continuation. Do you want a banana? Peel it down and go, I want a revolver. Gimme. Actually, no, we've had 2 already this year. Oh, no, I've got to question these things now. But it's a yellow banana revolver. Oh, no, Revolver Nana has appeared. Yes, banana collection potentially could grow even more so. So, yeah, over the years, we've had a decent amount of banana skins. Do we have the full collection? The answer is, I think so. Yes, but unfortunately, the bananas have not been appreciated that much, which is quite unfortunate to say. Somewhat recently, we did have the likes of the SMG Nana being accepted. Oh, then you should question how often are people actually wanting custom SMG skins. You can question that. So, yeah, this collection hasn't exactly done super crazy. It's quite unfortunate to see. I mean, who could hate the colour yellow? Anyway, revolvers. They're different. Revolvers tend to be fairly reliable investments, and you know what? We could actually go ahead and take a look at all of them. Now, just remember, we're going through the Easter dip at the moment, but how are revolver skins in general doing at the moment? And the answer is... Well, they're not doing too bad. Redemption revolvers dip down a bit in price. That's fine. You know, if that's it at its worst, I'm not complaining. But if you go down here, yep, Black Gold Revolver's gone down by 23%. Quite unfortunate. Toxic Flame's gone down by 3%. But the vast majority of them, they're still doing okay. Alright, so to see an individual revolver skin, I think I would feel confident in that. I think that would be doing perfectly fine. But I will question how many revolvers might we potentially see being accepted this year. So if we keep seeing more, suddenly it might not be so special anymore. And that could lead to problems. If we only end up with like 3 or 4 acceptances this year, alright, that'd be fine. Regardless, if you like to see this being accepted, do you want to run around with a banana on your hip? A big banana on his hip. Well, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck. Oh, come on now, that works. You don't need a big iron, you need a big banana. Yeah. Moving on. So, yeah, in terms of potential investments, I don't really think there's anything to invest into. I'm sorry to say, but I look forward to the idea of potentially another revolver, but I wouldn't want any more revolvers after that. Moving on. We got a sap, a python, and some strange-looking Thompson skins. So, we got ourselves a sap tube produced, I've forgotten English, produced by Mr. Kavahu. Get a good look at this. Very useful orange aim sight. Stands out very nicely for most environments. Should be pretty cool. If you like what you see, please consider voting yes or no for the sap tube. Next up, what do we have? It's the Sheriff Python, produced by Mr. Little Ranger. Get a good look at this. Aim down the sight, please. Please. Oh, no, we don't have a name down the sight image. Oh, come on now, please. All right, that's the best we're going to have to do with the likes of the red aim sight. Looks pretty okay with me. If you're a fan of that, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, Mr. Little Ranger. Yes, for all those furries out there that love playing Rust, look at this. We got yourself a lovely little wolf, Thompson. You know you needed this. Okay, in all fairness, I like how you utilise the bits that stick out here as is. That's creative. Like I said, if you keep showing support to these skin creators, they're going to start getting very creative and getting very furry, apparently. So, Yes, Freddy and Krueger have produced a very goofy, very silly, but I'll be honest with you, very interesting and very creative skin right here. It looks goofier when you shoot with it. Right, so if you like this design, if you appreciate it, if you're a fan of that, please consider voting yes or no for the Wolf Thompson. And I wonder, what other animals could you do? You could have done like a dog, you could do a cat. You could do a cat. There's people out there that are going to now start making cat skins. It's, you know, it's free reign. It's open domain. Go for it. Attack. So yeah, cool idea. Let's move on. What do we have right here? It's a collection continuation. The Bismuth collection is still trying to get its first weapon skin being accepted, but you know what? Oh wow, that does look nice. Okay, right. I like that. That's a cool looking sheen to that. That's an interesting approach. So yeah, quite some time back we had a Bismuth... a Bismuth sheet metal door. Bismuth sheet metal door. Nice aim down the sight right there. Thank you very much with that. And basically, the creator, Mr. Wildcat, has been trying to develop it into more. We had a cool looking AK being produced quite some time back. Unfortunately, it wasn't accepted. But yeah, this is what we're continuing from. Very nice. Very cool. Do you know what? Wildcat, go for an armoured double door. Give that a shot. I don't think... Yeah, we haven't had one for a while. Give it a shot, mate. Give it a try. So, going over to here, Bismuth. What do we see? It is the sheet metal door, but unfortunately, it's not doing super great. It is... Oh, wow. Yeah, I should have remembered that. Yeah, it's down to 60 cents, I'm afraid. It hasn't held up its value. But you never know. Maybe we could get a lot more deployable skins being produced and whatnot. Mr. Wildcat. Just because you didn't get any accepted literally after it doesn't mean you can't return and do some more deployables again as version 2s. Large boxes, small boxes, rugs, you name it, give it a shot. Just because it's been quite some time since this was accepted doesn't mean you won't get any more acceptances, alright? But weapons and whatnot, I don't think it's going to really give this a bit of a boost. If we did see more deployables, that would be interesting. And hey, I mean, I know you produce some sheet metal double doors. You could give those a version 2 a second chance. Says the guy who doesn't want to see any more for a while. But hey, it's up to him. So, personally, I don't think a Thompson's going to magically cause that to go up in price. But at least you're aware of it and whatnot. So, at the end of the day, if you like the Bismuth Thompson, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, Mr. Wildcat. Moving on, we have a double barrel shotgun, a SAR skin, a M39 skin, a LR300 skin, and tons of AK-47s. We can't get enough of them. Please help us. We're buried in them. I can't breathe. Right, moving on. Let's just grab all of these, and then we'll be done with the likes of all the weapons and tools. So what do we have right here? It's the Imperial Thompson, a continuation of the Thompson skin that we had just very recently. And that was pumped. I had a discussion about that. Some guy went and put down an $8 buy order for the Imperial Thompson, okay? And for a good few days, it was selling above $8. How's it looking now? So let's go take a look. Because unfortunately, it has now gone below its rust price. I'm not joking. That happened. There's a guy called 5ST. He requested at 100 quantity, 100 Thompsons for $8 a piece. And unfortunately, even then, it still went down in price. And you can see all of that right there. So the very second that bar disappeared... Very unfortunate. But hey, maybe we could see a potential collection being built up. Maybe we could potentially see a nice spike in demand. Well, I'll be honest with you, I mentioned this earlier, when the collection only consists of weapons and tools, unfortunately, most of the time, it doesn't really end up in the positive. It usually ends up in the negative. But hey, I know Mr. Eros has been very successful in the past with the likes of his what was it? You made El Diablo. And El Diablo had tons of skins accepted. Many cool, interesting looking weapon skins. And with the Imperial Double Barrel Shotgun, I like the design of this. I appreciate the nice looking detail on that. Yes. Do you? Well, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, Mr. Eros. But personally, I don't think the Thompson skin's going to be going up in price simply seeing this being accepted. But we shall see. We shall see. Next up, what do we have right here? It is the Jungle SAR, produced by Yan and Mr. Horror Meow. Get a good look at that. Aim down the sight. What do we see? It's a standard aim sight with a little bit of green right there. Ooh, okay, so it's a standard aim sight, but with just a little touch of green. That should be useful for most environments, hopefully speaking. So yes, do you like it? Nice and colourful. Very, very colourful. If you're a fan, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you too. What do we have right here? It's the M39 Crystalline. The Crystalline M39 is how I should have said it. Mr. Diaz has produced an interesting looking M39 skin right there. Kind of reminds me of the Bismuth design. It is what it is. It is what it is. It's more quartz design, I think. Then again, I think Bismuth is a quartz rock. let's talk about skins, not rocks. Anyway, yes, so that does look, oh wow, that does look very nice and shiny. Yes, Giga, look at that. Pretty cool. Stands out quite nicely. Mr. Diaz has been quite successful with skin acceptances in the past, and if you think this deserves to be another nice acceptance, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, Mr. Diaz. And what do we have right here? It is the X-Ray LR300, produced by Mr. MDE. Mr. MDE has been quite successful with certain collections, such as the Whiteout collection or the Blackout collection. He's also had some Jade skins accepted here and there. Well, he's been trying his best to try and develop a brand new collection, but nothing's kind of been accepted. It's a bit awkward. MDE? Why not try for some more primitive whiteout and blackout skins? Yes. Or, you know what, why not try and see if you can get your Jade collection turned into some clothing and armour? Or deplorable skins. Consider blackout and whiteout deplorables. I think people would greatly appreciate something like that. But in regards to this X-Ray LR300, there's nothing wrong with it. Looks pretty cool. I'd say it's a perfectly fine looking skin with a very useful red aim sight. So if you're a fan of that, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, Mr. MDE. And what do we have right here? It's the first of the many AK-47s that we get every single week. So it's a nice wrapped up snow cover AK-47. You might sit there and say, oh, that might be perfectly fine for the snowy white environments if I wear my full whiteout set. Maybe. You'd have to test that out. But looking at the state of that, it's totally fine. Useful aim sight. Yep, standard black aim sight. But hey, for the snowy environments, that's perfection. So if you like what you see here, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, Mr. Lysane. I should point out, there is a non-stock version as well. So if you want the one, that's a bit smaller, hey, consider voting yes or no for that too. So best of luck to you, sir, Mr. Lysane. And let's move on. What do we have here? Deserted Lizard. So... get a good look at that. You got a little he's got a long tongue. Like that. So, all nice and scaly, pretty interesting. If you like the Desert Raiders AK-47, maybe this might be the type of skin for you, because now this time at least you get a lizard. Yeah. So if you like that, if you're a fan, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, Quicker, Shiksa, and Moderno. What do we have right here? It is Normals AK-47. So I do believe Jeeba kind of made something like this somewhat recently, the Normals door. Well, now we've got a Normals AK-47. It is one of the mapping effects that you have when you produce skins, but this time it's quite literally the texture. But yeah, get a good look at that. Yeah, good look at that. You might just sit there and say, yeah, it's just purple. Pretty much, yeah. It's pretty much. So, if you like that, if you're a fan of this, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, Mr. Jeeper. Right, what do we have here? The Natural Order AR version 2. So, this is produced by Mr. Confusion. Get a good look at that. It's all nice and green with a lot of rust. Very grounded type of design. Nothing too wacky. But hey, if that's the type of skin that you'd like to see, nice, decayed, battle-worn, well, please consider voting yes or no. And best of luck to you, Mr. Confusion. What do we have here? The Anatomical AK. Right, this is produced by Then. It's got a lot of meat all over it. A lot of muscle. Human muscle, to be precise. Where did you get all this human muscle to make this AK? Moving on. So, standard aim sight right there. Nothing too crazy. Looking pretty interesting. If you like what you see, please consider voting yes or no. So, yeah. Nothing too crazy, I said. Where did you get the meat for this? Moving on. What do we have right here? Well, that's not normal. It's a chameleon. Oh, yeah. Does it change colour with every environment I'm in? I'm just saying. That would actually be a pretty cool idea, but Face Punch would be had to be the ones that makes that, wouldn't they? So Sunart has produced a cool-looking chameleon on a branch. That looks nice and pretty. Oh, yes, indeed. So, do you like the chameleon? Are you a fan? Please consider voting yes or no. Aim down the sight. What do we see? Useful red aim sight. That's good to me. So, best of luck to you, Sunart. Let's see what becomes of this, our cute little chameleon friend. What do we have right here? Nightfall AR, produced by Mr. Jessin. So this is a little bit funny, and you're going to find out in a minute why. So Jessin just randomly comes out with a cool-looking, full black AK-47 design. Nothing wrong with that. Totally fine. Get a good look at this. Aim down the sight. What is it? It's a pure black aim sight. Cool. You might sit and say, that's a cool-looking black AK-47. Well, the timing was a bit awkward. Why? There you go, we got a Black Diamond AK-47. Ooh, so Bad Trip and Hulk also produced a full black AK-47. So, bit awkward, just a little bit. Aim down the sight, what do we see right there? It's another full black AK-47. So, yeah, awkward, just a bit. But hey, it's up to you. You're the one with the power to vote. Which one was your favourite? Is it Nightfall AR or is it Black Diamond AK-47? feel free to comment below. And so with that, we can now move on to the likes of the L96 Magic Stick. Oh yes, the Magic Stick L96. What makes it so magic? It can blow off a head from miles away. So, yeah, looking pretty interesting, looking pretty cool. Are you a fan of this? Do you reckon, yeah, we need some more L96 skins? Well, I think we've only had one accepted so far this year. Mr. Fuff, let's see what happens next. Please consider voting yes or no for the Magic Stick L96. And let's move on to the next L96 skin that we have right here. Yes, this right here is the Bullseye L96. Part of the... I realise I have that there. I just want to close that. Right. Part of the Bullseye collection. So this is produced by Mr. GXT Face. Do you remember the Bullseye collection? No? Well, let me just point this out to you. We've had the likes of the Python skin being accepted and the SAR skin being accepted. Wasn't this 2022? It was. Whoa, that's a blast from the past. So yeah, originally it was all red, and then quite some time back we got this AK-47 being accepted last year. So yeah, that was green. So it looks like we're dabbling to some more greens. Do you know what, GXT Face? If this were to be accepted, the next one should be yellow or blue and then orange and then pink. Just make them all different colours. Why not? Screw it. So yes, it is part of a collection. Let's go take a look at it over here. So Bullseye. There we are. No, there's two L's. Damn it, I can't spell. I was typing too fast. It's my own fault. There we are. Now, unfortunately, and I did point this out earlier, when a collection only consists of weapons and tools, by default, it tends to not really retain its value. Quite unfortunate, but it is what it is. As you can see right there, that is quite literally a perfect example of this. But looking at the state of this, if you like it, if you appreciate it, and if you want to see more of it, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, Mr. GXT Face. But in terms of a potential investment, I don't think I'm going to be doing that. Because, you know, it's only weapon only, so... bit awkward, but, you know. So, what do we have right here? It is a minigun rocket launcher. So, quite some time back, if I just quickly hop over to here, I've accidentally clicked something else. I can't find it. I'll just show you right here. So, Rust reboot commits. We have been seeing some interesting details about a potential minigun being added to Rust at some point. Yep. But it hasn't been mentioned for quite some time. Also, Wellipets. Oh no, don't tell me you're making something goofy for Easter. Oh no. So yeah, more weird things are being made, but I haven't been seeing anything mentioned in regards to the minigun for the current time. Maybe it will be readily prepared for the likes of April Force Wipe, just like the potential harbour changes. Who knows, we shall see, but we are aware a minigun was being worked on. I do believe it's in staging. I don't fully remember. But anyway, where's it going to be put? What's it going to be used for? We don't know. But we have a rocket launcher here, obviously in reference to it. And hey, looking pretty sweet. In terms of, the minigun type of design, excellent, perfect. Mr. Fresh has done a wonderful job with that. So if you think, you know what, we could do with another rocket launcher skin, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, Mr. Fresh. Because, yeah, I don't think we had the Dragon New Year rocket launcher. Fair enough, but we don't actually have many rocket skins in general. If I were to just quickly point that out to you, rocket launcher, I think we've got like 30 and that's it, including Twitch drops. Yeah, 31. So it doesn't surprise me to see the Dragon rocket launcher is doing alright because it's had no competition. It's expensive, but love is expensive. Anyway, moving on. So, that was the last weapon skin of the batch. And, we will be discussing the likes of clothing and armour in a bit. But first of all, I will sit here and ask, out of all these weapons and tool skins that we just took a look at, which one was your most favourite? Which one do you reckon has the best potential chance of being accepted in the near future with an upcoming Rust store? So you can sit there and comment below, talk about that. But for now, I'm going to quickly take a real quick drink. And then we'll start discussing the likes of all that armour and clothing. Yeah, I've been seeing mentions here of like a Gao as well. Apparently that's some sort of like Chinese hook sword. I might be wrong there. I had to look it up real quickly a little bit earlier. But I didn't even notice the Wellipets. I didn't see that earlier. Obviously, as I've refreshed now and looked at this, so this is what I saw most recently. And then, of course, they've got this now. Oh, we're getting some goofy things for Easter, aren't we? We've already got the chicken legs, and now we've got something that might potentially be accompanying the frog boots. Yeah. Oh, we'll see, won't we? Oh, yes. So... right then, chat. Shall we proceed and start talking about the likes of all this clothing and armour? Because immediately we have collection continuations. First up, we got some Burlap skins, and I'm a bit awkward here. Why? About 2 months ago, when Zinc and Gunya were working on this curse collection, I was speaking to them and saying, hey, Do you reckon you could go do some burlap clothing? We haven't had some of that for a while, and I think it would go greatly with the primitive skins that you got with your curse collection. And they said, we want to do tier 3 first, and then we'll see what happens. So I was like, all right, that's cool. They've produced this now, and I'll explain further why I'm a bit awkward with this. But regardless, this is the curse collection. And, of course, if you have been keeping track of everything, the Curse Collection has done quite well for a brand new primitive collection. So, like I said, look, there's the Tier 3 that they attempted. And, yep, you know, we got pretty much a full set here. Very nice to see, very cool. And at the moment, it's not all doing super great, but most skins in general are struggling at the moment. These two sold way too much as well. This was in the very first rush store of the year, so all the skins during that rush store sold absurdly, and it's suffering because of that. But these skins here, they could easily rebound. There's not too many of these, and as you can see, the boots are doing all right. If we were to see burlap shirt and pants, would that have a nice boost on all these? Oh yes. Oh yes, even with primitive skins, exactly like with the likes of core pieces, you know, hoodie pants tier 2 and tier 3, when you see a continuation of a primitive collection, yes, oh yes, you should expect a spike in demand and a spike in price. So with what we have there, I'm optimistic for it, especially as we lead towards the likes of the summertime. You might remember last year when we had the pirate collection, every time we kept seeing new pieces being accepted, it started to boost it up a fair bit. Unfortunately for the pirate collection, this is a brand new black primitive set, so bit awkward for that. So I'm optimistic if this were to be accepted, and let's go get a good proper look at all of that. With the likes of the hide poncho, it does look quite nice and stylish, oh yes. So unfortunately, they did submit the likes of a deer skull mask very recently, but that didn't get any love, unfortunately, wasn't accepted. Who knows, maybe they can make a version 2 at some point in the future. But I'm optimistic for a nice boost in price and whatnot if we were to see the burlap shirt and pants potentially being accepted. So it's up to you what you do with that information. Right. But it's not the only burlap clothing to be submitted this week. No, we have Skullforce. Now, here's the awkward thing follow-up. I spoke with Sean Mick, and I told him, yeah, I think you should, you know, commit to doing primitive clothing. Do you know what we haven't had for a while? Burlap shirt and pants. Well done, Hedge. You've caused people to compete with each other. Now, in all fairness, I told Zinc and Gunya 2 months ago, so just putting that out. I'm not trying to start a war, but regardless, either way, we've got some very interesting potential primitive collections being built up here. Now, Skullforce only recently got the likes of its recent primitive skins. So, as you can see, we've had the likes of the SAR. We got these 2 skins somewhat recently, about a week ago, and then of course we got the AK-47 being accepted very randomly just before Easter. So yeah, this was in the workshop for 10 weeks, and lo and behold, it's accepted this week. Anyway, not too surprising about that. Same thing applies. If that burlap shirt and pants is accepted, yes, you can expect these 2 skins to spike in demand and spike in price ever so nicely. And I will give credit to Sean Mick and, of course, Mr. R.E. Spectre. That is a cool-looking set, especially the glasses that they keep using. Where's that? Where's the cool-looking pictures? There we go. Come on now. Come on now. What do you reckon? That looks nice, and potentially for a lot of people that like to roam around in the desert areas, that might suffice as perfectly reasonable primitive desert clothing. So for what we have there, I'm happy, because either way, we've got an interesting batch of skins that potentially could build up to the likes of a nice primitive set. Curse Collection already has a bit of a lead in regards to that, but it's nice to see some creative designs being put towards the likes of these things. So let's find out. Which team are you on? Oh yes, we can do this, can't we? Are you on Team Cursed, or are you on Team Skullforce? What do you reckon? Oh, that looks nice right there. Oh, that's a good picture. Good job with that. So, yeah, which side are you on? Use your power to vote. Please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you two. And, of course, best of luck to Zinc and Gunya with their set. Let's find out. Oh, it's looking pretty interesting for April Force White. Alright, now we're going to move on to boring hoodie and pants, but no, I'm joking. Let's go ahead and talk about the likes of these cool-looking, smart-looking hoodie and pants that we have right here. A nice variety of designs, a nice variety of creativity, and of course, a collection continuation. So what do we have right here? Would you like to dress up nice and smart and look ever so lavish, dressed up as the agent? Oh yes, very exquisite, very cool. I like the idea that he's using a pistol there with a silencer. Very cool, that was nice. So yes, would you like to dress up as a secret agent? Well, we've got the perfect piece of clothing for you. Produced by the likes of Mr. Holodno. Yes, that is a cool looking thing. If only you could make yourself bald, it would be so much better, the pictures. I'm just, you know. You could have, Never mind, don't worry. So if you like what you see here, if you think, oh yeah, this agent set looks pretty interesting, it is a version 2. There was a version that was produced quite some time back. Show your support. Please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, Mr. Holodno. Let's see what happens next. Okay, Nebulon Hoodie and Pants. That looks pretty standout. Cool. What do we have right here? Oh, wow. Look at that. Oh, he looks pretty sinister. He's got ooze sticking out of him and whatnot. Is he supposed to be an alien? You could have called it Alien Nebulon or something. So who's produced this? It's Mr. Chillag. All right. I will point this out. Apparently, Helk really likes sci-fi, so you could have mentioned it as an alien. Might have given you a little bit of extra bonus points. But regardless, if you like this, please consider voting yes or no. Could you consider that as snowy camo? Bit of a stretch, all the black there and whatnot, but it does look pretty cool. I will give it that. Face mask looks pretty nice. So yes. Wait, wasn't that tier 3 submitted somewhat recently? Yeah. So yeah. All right. If you like what you see, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, Mr. Chillag. Let's see what happens next. All right, cat camouflage, hoodie and pants. Why is it cat camouflage? Where are the cats? I don't see any cats. I'm not seeing a single cat. I have been let down. You've lied to me, Xenia Paris. Where are the cats? I don't see any cats. I just wanted one. Anyway, what do we have over here? Are they hidden in the camouflage? Wait, no, hang on a minute. They are there. Oh, they were hidden. No, I actually didn't know they were there. If you look really close, you can actually see it's just a ton of cats. I need better glasses. Right, anyway, so we literally just had flashbacks. I'm not sure if Face Punch are going to immediately jump onto another greenish camouflage. Might be pushing your luck, but hey, he added cats as well, so maybe that might give him some bonus points. We shall see, but I'm just saying, flashbacks, Hoodie and Pants are currently an active set. Still hoping for the likelihood of tier 3 potentially. We shall see. If you like cats and if you like camouflage, please consider voting yes or no. I actually genuinely was stumped. I could not see the cats initially. I had to really look at it. Like when it was all folded up and super close, I could see it, but it's still kind of hard to notice them there. Anyway, best of luck to you, Mr. Xenia Paris. Moving on, what do we have right here? It is the Back to Future. Yeah, if you don't add the N, if you don't add the, maybe you won't get done in for copyright. But regardless, cool looking design. Yes, perfectly fine for what it is. Not sure how it's referencing that film series we probably shouldn't mention. Maybe it's just simply is it. Maybe it's just a case of he was just trying to think of a pretty interesting design name for this design and whatnot. Hey, at the end of the day, if you like what you see with what Mr. Delarai has produced, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, Mr. Delarai. And what do we have right here? It is a collection continuation that we must talk about. It is Cyber Hoodie and Pants. You could call it Cyber Jacket. I'm calling it Cyber Hoodie and Pants because to call it Cyber Jacket would cause confusion. So you kind of look like Boba Fett there. Anyway, moving on. So yeah, that's fine. Nothing too crazy. Cyber Collection hasn't exactly been doing super great somewhat recently though. So if you can recall, what was it, about 2 weeks ago? Yes, we have the tier 2 armor being accepted. Yep, and it's already down in price. Cyber Collection isn't very in demand, but I can sit here and say for the first like 3 hours when this was accepted, this went above $1, and then went back down below $1. So yes, we did see the spike in price happen. It just didn't last for very long because I don't think the collection is very in demand. This is a problem with most metallic sets. Also, if you take into consideration, we literally just saw the likes of Damascus set getting finished, which is also a very notable metallic set. Awkward timing is all I could say. So if you're going to sit there and say, Hedge, should I jump in and make an investment? Personally, I wouldn't go near it. Just saying. It's just very awkward time. Let's say if the Cyber Collection was produced like 3 months from now, that would have been enough time, but again, because it literally just started getting more acceptances very close to Damascus, not exactly been super great for it, unfortunately. So regardless, if you like it, and if you'd like to see the full Cyber Collection being finished, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, Mr. Lecramp. Right. Talking about Damascus, what do we see right here? Oh, wow, yeah, no, it's the Damascus jacket. Wow, interesting, very interesting. So, yep, another collection continuation. I shouldn't have left that, I should have gone back there. So, yeah, what do we have right here? It is the Damascus collection. We have a full set with all the core pieces, and including boots and gloves, but there was a bit of a problem, and I did make a big fuss about this. There's a problem based on sales with the full set. These 4 pieces right here, Hoodie and Pants and Tier 3, they did about 13,000 sales in total. Okay, well, what do you mean? Well, when you look at the state of the Tier 2 and the boots and glove sales, well, these on average did about 19 to 20,000 sales, and these did about almost 17,000 sales. Far too many of these were in comparison to these, and these are now suffering because of that. Because, of course, if you think about all the potential complete sets that could be made, there's going to be an excess amount of these skins, isn't there? So these are struggling because of that. Not very good, not very nice, very unfortunate. But if we do see the likes of a jacket skin being accepted, yes, I would expect the likes of all the pieces there have a nice spike in demand and a spike in price. It probably won't last forever, but you would expect it. Alright, so with the likes of what we have here, if you like it, by all means, please consider voting yes or no, and let's see what happens next. But you are not the only jacket skin this week. Oh, no. For you see, we have Comics Jacket right here. And I'm not surprised in the slightest that this has now appeared. So with the recent success of those Thundergold skins being accepted somewhat recently, I was actually kind of counting down the time that we would eventually see the likes of some more comic skins appearing. Seems Mr. Legacy has now decided it is the perfect opportune time to make a second attempt for the likes of his comics jacket. So of course, we've had quite a discussion in regards to white jackets. Last year, a whiteout jacket was produced, and I sat there and said, look guys, it does not matter. Doesn't matter if it does 50,000 sales, maybe even 100,000 sales. People are going to go ballistic for it because, you know, you can't run around in full armour in the snowy cold environments. It's going to hurt you, it's going to harm you, it's going to make you too cold, you're going to get frostbite, it's going to hurt. So you need a jacket, don't you? Unfortunately, whiteout jacket wasn't accepted. Now, there of course was a previous attempt with the likes of the comics jacket. Wasn't accepted. Facepunch seems to be very hesitant with the idea of a full white jacket skin. So take that for what you will. But regardless, if you were to see that being accepted for the comics collection at the very least, yes. Yeah, oh, come on now, don't be silly. For the comics collection, yes. I know it's not a full collection, but for all the people that like to mix and match, oh, come on, show yourself. For the people that like to mix and match, you know, a cheap, affordable variant instead of paying for the full amount of whiteout collection, yes, you should expect all the clothing and armour pieces to spike them on, spike and price there, but you would also expect the likes of many people to use the likes of that comics jacket with the likes of potentially whiteout, and of course with the likes of potentially Thundergold. Don't be surprised in the slightest by it. But yeah, those hoodie pants right there, oh, it's a little bit interesting now, isn't it? It is looking a little bit interesting. So, aside from all of that, yes, I could expect something very nice to potentially happen with it. So if you like the design, if you're a fan of that, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, Mr. Legacy. Let's move on. It's getting a bit late, so I'm just going to grab all of these skins now, because I don't want to see the maintenance causing problems. I think we're good. Yeah, okay, cool. So, first up, what do we have right here? It's a pair of leather gloves and, of course, some booties. So, not too long ago, Mr. Robstar was trying to build up an interesting-looking burlap set with the likes of Dark Knight. But that wasn't accepted at the moment. We shall see, because, of course, you know, this could still potentially be seeing acceptances after Easter, around April time. So, what he's gone ahead and done now is produced some... oh, hang on a minute. These are leather gloves and burlap shoes. That's what I should clarify. So, yeah... more primitive skins, more attempts at primitive collections. That should have been lower down in my collection, but hey, it is what it is. I mistook it for regular roadside gloves and boots. Oh well, I made a oopsie. What I'll do is I'll probably change that in my collection a fair bit. I'll put that lower along with the likes of the burlap clothing. But regardless, interesting looking design. Let's see if this amounts to an interesting potential collection. The Dark Knight set did look pretty cool, but well... we just have to wait and see. We do have a lot of primitive skins collections being built up, so we'll see what actually succeeds. Best of luck to you, Mr. Robstar. If you like what you see, people, please consider voting yes or no. Let's move on to the Tier 3 armour. So, I'm just going to point this out, Sapesh. Bit of a problem, mate. I don't think you can submit a version 2 this quickly. What do you mean? You literally just produced it last week. Well, I mean, 2 weeks ago. I'm pretty sure you have to wait at least a month. Now, if you wanted to produce a version 2 during the same week you put out the original, that would count as an alternate, that would be fine. But you waited 2 weeks and then made another version. I don't think that's allowed. You're probably not going to get told that, but you probably should... well, you shouldn't be surprised if it's not accepted, let's put it that way. Hey, watch them accept it. But I'll be honest with you, I think you should avoid doing that. And that applies to all skin creators out there. Wait at least a month before you put out a version 2, okay? 4 weeks. But regardless, if you like what you see, people, I mean, you saw it not too long ago. If you like the plaster plate tier 3, if you're a fan of that, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, Mr. Sepesh, but please try and stick with the rules. Otherwise, you're going to cause yourself potential problems. And if you keep breaking the rules, there's no point following you. Alright then, chained up face mask. So, this is produced by Hashaki. It's all nice and chained up. What about the the chest plate? Yes. Put some pants on, sir. Put some pants on. So if you like what you see here, if you like its straightforward but cool-looking red design, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, Mr. Hashaki. Next up, what do we have right here? It's military protection produced by Saychains and Demon. Yep, all brown. Looking pretty cool with some orange coloration. If you're a fan of this, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you too. And for the final skin of the clothing and armour and all of the skins this week, we have a collection continuation to talk about. It is the Soulless Legion Tier 3 produced by Mr. Verona. So let's go remind ourselves. Soulless Legion. Here we are, Soulless Legion. We have 2 skins. We have the likes of the bow skin and, of course, the crossbow skin. It is ever so nice with its gold trim with the black coloration. Very nice, very cool. Are you a fan of that? Please consider voting yes or no at the very least. But I'm going to have to question, would the likes of this potentially being accepted cause the likes of the crossbow skin and the bow skin to dramatically increase in demand and rise in price? I don't think so, not really. I mean, if we do end up getting like a full collection, things would be interesting. I should point out, Mr. Verona did attempt the likes of an MP5, a Python, salvage sword skin. It didn't get accepted, unfortunately, but hey, maybe clothing and armour might be the play. Maybe that might work out very nicely. I am a little bit worried, though, because, of course, as you can see, it's another full black set with some gold to it. I mean, that's got more gold than black gold, so maybe people won't assume the same thing. With the current night time, that would stand out, the bright gold yellow. Yeah, you'd notice that a little bit closer compared to like a full blackout set. So at the very least, it's up to you if you like it. Please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, Mr. Verona. But personally, I don't think these are going to spike in demand, spike in price if you see that being accepted. But if we do end up seeing a full set, I could see it potentially rising up in price after then. I could. It wouldn't be perfect, but it'd be fine. So, yep, best of luck to you. And, of course, with all those clothing and armour skins, which one was your favourite? Which one do you reckon has a genuine good chance of potentially being accepted in an upcoming Rust store? Feel free to comment below. And that, in fact, was all of our skins this week. Yes, it wasn't a huge, insane batch. Hedge probably still spoke far too much, but hey, you know what you're in for when you click this video. You know exactly what's going to happen when we do the Rust Workshop skin checks. Now, these people, I don't think, were supposed to submit skins this week. I'm pretty sure they were supposed to take a week off. I believe that was what was implied. Maybe that happens next weekend, we shall see. But as I've said, the expectation is we are very likely going to see an Easter Rust store in 2 days' time, this Thursday on March 21st and March 28th. Because Easter is happening on March 31st this year. So it'd make more sense that, well, and again, look at all the Easter skins we have here. We've got 130. They can easily make 2 Rust stores out of this. Easily. And I will double down and say, go double check every single clothing and armour skin and weapon skin, because there's only so many of them to go around, and let me tell you, I'm pretty sure they have a much better chance of being accepted compared to all the deployables, because there's a ton of deployables. I think 100 of them are deployables, and there's some notable collection continuations in here that I did point out, and go watch my video that I put out last week with the Rust Workshop skin checks for Easter 2024, which is located right over, no, that one. And remember, I do provide all links there, and of course do consider watching TGG's video as well. Of course, you'll get a look at every single skin. I only ever talk about continuations because that tends to be where the money is in terms of investments and financial perspective, blah blah blah. You get the idea. Cool. So yes, and of course you should also keep an eye on the commits and whatnot. We obviously brought that up earlier. We are going to have April Force Wipe in just about 2 weeks' time, and potentially on the horizon we have changes to harbour, motorbikes and potential regular bikes. I don't know. It's very likely motorbikes. And what else was there? More weapons potentially being produced. And SKS. Let me just quickly point this out to you. SKS was mentioned. It is a semi-automatic Soviet weapon from the past. Yes. So looks like we'll probably be having a weaker SAR of some sort, or maybe better. We shall see. But yeah, more things are being added to Rust. And if you want to go find the commits, just go to Google, type in Rust Reboot Face Punch, and it'll be the first link right there, and there you are. This is only Rust, because if you go to Face Punch commits in general, you're going to see Sandbox. You only want to see Rust stuff, I'm sure. So, Tool Cupboard Retro Skin very likely will be readily prepared before April 4 swipe as well. Our first ever Tool Cupboard skin, which will very likely be a DLC. Maybe it comes with some other things as well. We shall see. Truck M939. Yep, Bradley Scientist, we're aware of that. So, interesting things for April 4 swipe. But for now, let's just go and enjoy our Easter time. And what is going to become of these Wellipets, alright? Because it's called Wellipets, as in Wellington boots, I'm pretty sure it's going to be frog related. I'm pretty sure it's going to be our frog booties getting a nice little hat to accompany it. Maybe that's for Easter. Maybe. We shall see. But for now, go forth and enjoy yourselves. Have a nice week, and we'll see what potentially is accepted this Thursday. I, of course, will be streaming tomorrow, doing my abnormal barders, and then, of course, on Thursday, I'll be streaming, waiting in anticipation for the Rustore. But with it being Easter, with the actual Easter update being introduced, I wouldn't be surprised if the next Rustore is going to be an early Rustore. I'm talking like 6 o'clock in the evening UK time. So figure out your time zones and whatnot. And that's that. So thank you very much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed it. And feel free to comment below all the favourite skins that you have for this week. And I'll catch you later. See you, goodbye.